to show you what you got to do for a duration schedule. Uh, I've already finished this one, so I'm going to kind of go retroactively back through it. I'm going to show you what you're going to do. First, in this SOP, there's actually a link to this file. So if you want, you can download this file. Usually these rows are all hidden here. So if you're not familiar with Excel, depending on the size of your project, you're going to want to unhide those. And then when you're done with them, you're going to want to right click on this bar on the left and hide them. To unhide them, you can see how it goes from 65 to 205. You're going to right click and you're going to hit, you're basically just going to hit these little arrows right here, and then that will unhide them. And then to hide the rows, because you're going to need to do this at the end of your duration schedule once you finished it, you are going to click that hide button again. So with that being said, all right, so this was the duration that we did for Brockport. And the way you put these together, there's two ways. You can either do it based on the estimate from the estimator, obviously, in AccuBid, or you can do it manually. So what I'm going to show you right now is how to do it manually. AccuBid is going to depend on how they did the takeoff. So basically with manually, right, if there's initially a project schedule, you're going to want to operate off from these areas, okay, because they're going to take this and they're going to plug your durations into these areas, okay. And so what you're going to see is a lot of we don't have anything in this lobby area. A lot of mine, actually we do have some electrical in there, so I'll have to look at that. A lot of mine follow these exactly, LGI area, LGI, middle school LGI, and then office mechanical, AP offices, okay, Ginther, you see Ginther School, kitchen and cafeteria, and then I have classrooms and corridors, which is their bathroom, so I'll have to change that. They have it all in here as well too. And then same thing, I have their kitchen work, which is a different section. That's down lower. Cafeteria, kitchen, get their school. Roof work. So this is essentially what you're going to want to, you're going to want to copy that, make those your areas, because they're going to take this and they're going to put your durations into this schedule over here. The way I do these is basically just the way you would do anything else. I'm just going to give you one example just to give you a little perspective, because you don't need, it's going to be just rinse and repeat for each one of these prints. So obviously we have kitchen and cafeteria. Again, they have that on their schedule, right? Kitchen renovation right here. So and they're going to take our values for durations and plug these in. Long story short, if you're doing it manually, you are just looking at this and you are going to pop these into, you're going to review the prints. You should have a general idea, and you're just going to put days on here, right? You could do a start and finish date, but with the way, we don't really know what the start and finish date of any of this is going to be, because this is dependent on the GC schedule. So hence why 99% of the time they just want durations. So I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking how long durations are going to be. I'm putting 30 days for demo of all this stuff. Electrical roughing, I'm putting 75. This actually might even be higher. Fire alarm install, I'm just throwing 15 days on there. Access control work again, so this is just the demo print. This gives us an idea of all the systems that we're going to have on here. So on your left, you want to, inside underneath your area, you are going to want to write all of your systems in there, right? So we know we've got data, we've got fire alarm, we've got panel work. And I don't even think I put the panel board in there. Again, if you're not familiar with Excel, if you do this, you're going to insert one row above. You're going to turn off this. I reserve that for area. And then at the end of this, we're going to have to drag down and renumber all this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 1 and 2. So if I just grab 1, it'll probably duplicate 1. Yep, it did. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to select 1 and 2, and then you're going to want to drag it all the way down, because then it knows that it's a sequential count to make it. All right, and then we're going to put another panel board. I'm actually going to drag this down too, because that's going to duplicate the layout of the cell. As you can see, it dragged those borders over. That's just an aesthetic thing for me. It doesn't really matter. You don't really need to do that. Panel board, install. Okay. So with all this, this is basically the quick way to create the durations. This is more or less just they need it, right? It gives you your full duration count at the bottom. No project end dates given because we didn't go through the start and end date, and we didn't populate crew size. So this is basically just given to them so they can pop this into their schedule. So like I said, there's going to be a copy of this in the SOP. And just to recap real quick, you're going to want to look at their project schedule if they have one. If not, you're going to have to just either you can take it off the prints and just make the areas up. Like you could just say area D. You could just go first. You could just take the print names, first floor power and system plan area D, and put that right here in this project task section. They might ask you to break it down further, but if they don't have a schedule with layouts already of how they want it done, then that is how I generally do it. And then you're going to review the prints. You're going to come up with what your numbers are for durations you're guessing, and you're going to pop that in there. These schedules or whatever, they never stick anyways. So you're basically just, it's, what do they call it? I really want to think of the word, but it's not coming to me. So either way, that's it. That's how you do durations. There's going to be a copy of this. You're going to save this in the job folder, and you're going to submit it as well too. And there's going to be a copy of this file on the SOP. So